Hill. Thank you very much here today. I believe that when I'm talking to some of the people right after in the coffee break, some of them told me that it's very enjoy about the talks from Francis just been. Francis is my very important mentor. From Francis, I can see a leaders, especially a servant leaders. And today we have another four very distinguished leaders here today and talking about the society of the future. I would like to introduce them to you so that basically all of them are no need to introduce. But I just want to say a few words to let you understand them a little bit more. Okay, from the right-hand side, Professor Joseph Jiang Yushek 教授. Professor Jiang is the chair professor of the political science at the City University of Hong Kong. And everybody knows that he's been in a very famous commenter to a lot of the public policy and will be very critiqued in many ways to build a better society for Hong Kong. And the second speaker we have is Professor Simon Ho. And Professor Simon Ho is at the moment is the vice rector for the Macau University. Before that, he was the dean of the business school in the Hong Kong Baptist University, as well as before that in the Chinese University. He's a very distinguished scholar, and one of the things he always mentioned, the society need to have a soul, rather than just business, but we need to have a soul. Thank you, Professor Ho. And the third, of course, is Mr. Wang Wingping Joseph Wang. I believe that all of us he will be on the TV all the time. Every time all these civil servants get any policy benefit problem, everybody will talking to, hi, Mr. Wang, how you see, raise up by 0.5 or 0.2%. Okay. Mr. Wang had been in the government for many years and also taking the very senior position in the Hong Kong government. Of course, recently, he's been retired, but I believe that the retirement time doesn't make him more easy, but just busy. Okay, the fourth speaker for today for the first session is Dr. Samson Tam, Tam Wei Ho Bossy. Samson is a good friend of mine, and also he is the newly elected in the Legislative Council in the Functional Constitution of the Information Technology. And Samson is one of the young leaders in Hong Kong, and he raised up in Hong Kong and also concerned about all the society issues in Hong Kong. Particularly, he went to many the young leaders and build up and speaking and grow a lot of the young leaders for today's world, particularly in Hong Kong. Therefore, I'm very pleased to have our distinguished guest today to talk about the very important topic today, the society of the future. I would like to talk about a little bit about why we select the topic today. The society of the future is not only talking about how we can do some volunteer work for the society. One of the things from Peter Drucker is very important. As an executive, as a leaders, we are not only coming to manage the organization or to manage the task, but actually deliver the good wills for the society at the end. Your personal mission needs to link up to the society needs. Actually, I would like to draw some highlight to you. I just read through last week about the policy address from Mr. Donald Tsang, our chief executive. I quoted two statements out. And they say that we firmly believe that Hong Kong must evolve into a knowledge-based economy to grab new opportunities. And the second one, in the second paragraph, and he mentioned about Hong Kong must constantly enhance its competitiveness and continue to evolve into a high value-added, knowledge-based economy to maintain its leading edge over global competitors and create more quality jobs. When we see our chief executive addressing what we mean by knowledge-based economy, without further definition about it, a lot of people would think knowledge-based economy, maybe just, we're talking about maybe it's a fancy word. It's a good word to talk about. But how Hong Kong achieving a knowledge-based economy? I want to share with you a couple of the sharing from Peter Drucker. And Peter Drucker said, the next society will be a knowledge society. Knowledge will be its key resource, and knowledge workers will be the dominant group in its workforce. In the politically, he also says, only a society in dynamic disequilibrium has stability and cohesion. Knowledge economy or knowledge society need to drive by a lot of knowledge workers. And also we need to have a free flow of the knowledge as resources to many corners in the world. And also we can accept this is a disequilibrium. Once we have the dynamic disequilibrium, the whole status will be equalized and stabilized. The last slide I want to show before passing on this to all the great speakers is one of the very simple and powerful story from Henry Ford. Henry Ford did not invent the car, but he invented the process of making a car in a streamlined way. And he mentioned, and what I want is a pair of hands, but it always comes with a man. When automation comes on the line of the manufacturing line of the car manufacturing, actually what they need is just a pair of hands. Because a pair of hands is no need to manage, but a man, then you need to manage. But the worst, today's world, we really want a man, but they only come with the hands. I really hope today's, particularly in Hong Kong, we are not only as a hands society, but really as a man society. Before we start, we have a couple of questions, the leading question. And all the speakers here today have been prepared for 2 months. They have not come on stage just because of talking about it. They have been prepared for 2 months for this stage, for this time. At least a couple of leading questions I want to show you and show all the audience we're talking about is how you define the knowledge society and how far Hong Kong becomes a knowledge society, and how to increase the creativity and productivity of knowledge workers, and what is the education should be, and how to regain their innovation and entrepreneurship spirit as Hong Kong needs in the past. Okay, it's a tough question though, is that right? I would like to throw the question on to all the speakers, maybe one by one then. The first question, how do you define knowledge society and how far Hong Kong becomes a knowledge society? It's no need to sequentially, we can pop up any time, just talk for short, and we can jump all the time. I really want a dynamic flow in the whole session, okay? Okay, can I have